Welcome to Level 3 of the Allan Entrepreneurship Challenge. The micro challenges this week will be dedicated to the theme of food security, one that is strongly aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations and one that is of national importance to us as South Africans. Whilst the challenges themselves are aligned to the theme of food security, the principle underlying these can be applied to several other primary and secondary sectors of business, including manufacturing, production, retail, telecoms, and healthcare, some of which will be seen later on in the challenge this year. In the context of food and agriculture, the conceptual framework used to deliver this to learners is meant to depict the economic factors driving demand, supply, and scarcity of supply, ideally culminating with learners appreciating the economic factors that drive markets, then coming up with innovative, creative solutions to the problems surrounding food availability and, very importantly, food redistribution. To prepare your learners for success in Level 3 of the challenge, we recommend spending 20 to 25 minutes of classroom time to stimulate their thinking through some simple but effective group activities. Consider starting off the first activity with a discussion around competitive positioning. To do this, select 6 volunteer learners to come up to the front of the class and ask this group of learners some questions to get them thinking about the last time that they purchased an item of clothing. And this could include tops, t-shirts, jackets, or jeans. Prompt each of them to think about the factors that they considered before making a decision to buy or not to buy. And if the group remains quiet, maybe stimulate the discussion by starting off with the most obvious factor, that being price. That is to say, how many learners would have thought about the price of the item carefully before making a purchasing decision? If the group agrees, write down the word price on the left-hand side of the chalkboard. Next, ask about style. Did anybody consider the style or the cut or the design of the item before making a purchasing decision? And if the group agrees, write this down on the chalkboard underneath the first factor of price. Next, ask about brand. Many learners may be willing to purchase clothing items they don't actually feel look good just for the brand and just for the label. And if the group agrees, write down brand on the chalkboard as the third factor in this list. Lastly, ask about the factor of necessity. Was necessity a factor in this purchasing decision? Did they actually need the jacket because their last jacket was damaged? Or did they purchase new clothes even without really needing new clothing items? Write down necessity on the chalkboard as the last factor. The group will now have a list of factors that determined their purchasing behavior that day. And the idea is to help them understand which of these factors were a top priority for the learners. Ask the group about how many of them feel that price should be the most important thing to consider when buying new clothes, and most, if not all, will probably raise their hands. As an example, if 6 learners have raised their hands, then write down the number 6 next to the factor of price on the chalkboard. Ask the learners again about how many of them feel that style should be the most important thing to consider when buying new clothes, and many may raise their hands again. And as an example, if 5 learners raise their hands, then write down the number 5 next to the factor of style. Continue to score each of the remaining factors in this way. On the right-hand side of the chalkboard, rewrite the list of these 4 factors. But this time around, write them down in descending order of value, starting with the factor that got the most votes and was given the most importance, all the way through to the factor that got the least votes, with the least importance at the bottom of the list. Explain to the class that the list on the left-hand side is critical in business, since it helps the entrepreneur to better understand factors that drive the buying behavior of their target customers, and that this information can help them to position their product or their service better in a market full of competing enterprises. go on to explain that often entrepreneurs have to work with limited resources, and therefore if they cannot fulfill all the needs of their customers, then they should identify and focus on the 1 or 2 top things that matter the most to customers. And that is represented by the list on the right-hand side of the chalkboard. This list is referred to as a prioritization log. And this list helps an entrepreneur identify which 1 or 2 factors are the most important for customers to make a purchase from them. Understanding these factors in detail across hundreds of customers is gained through business intelligence. And this business intelligence should be used wisely to strengthen the value proposition and competitive positioning of their business and their products. That is to say, why customers should buy from them instead of buying from their competitor. Business intelligence is often gained through data. So consider also stimulating their thinking around the importance of data or information in decision making for the second activity in class. Businesses may interview consumers much like you would have just done with your volunteer learners, just to create intelligence for the business that could be used to grow sales. Ask the class if anybody has ever made an online purchase, or if not, if any of their parents may have made online purchases in the past. Stimulate the discussion further by referring to online shopping as e-commerce, and go on to explain that millions of e-commerce consumers who shop through retail giants like Amazon, eBay, and Takealot will solicit further information before buying a product online. For example, if someone is looking to buy electrical equipment online, they may first conduct a simple Google search to read blog posts about the type of product that they want to purchase. On the other hand, many users may extensively focus on customer reviews on digital platforms like Amazon. These simple text customer reviews often are highly descriptive and provide a detailed account of what that consumer experience has been with the exact same product that we may want to buy. And many consumers actually make the decision to buy or not to buy just based on these reviews and the number of likes gained for this product alone. Using this example, explain to the class that data and information is as critical to an entrepreneur making business decisions and to an investor making investment decisions as it is to a consumer making purchasing decisions. That's it for now. We hope you've enjoyed the video lesson for this week. Remember to reach out to info@entrepreneurshipchallenge.co.za for further support. Until next week, stay strong and keep them going strong.